Hello everyone, this is Bowen Xu, and in the last half a year, under the guidance of Professor Jos Brouwers, we did this project to research how to promote the cooperation between China and the Netherlands in the sustainable built environment. And this report going to be divided into four parts. The first part is to briefly introduce the overview of this project and the report, to give you a background of the project. And the second part is about how is sustainability building in China developed, and what is the current status of sustainable development in China. And the third part is we will provide some case studies on multiple aspects. And the last part is about the practical collaboration between the two countries. So for this project, the objective is to promote the cooperation and to support Dutch policy makers do better policy making decisions. And also we want to find some cutting point to support the companies in Dutch and China to get a better score in the business world. And what we want to show in this report is that we want to do independent and professional third party to complete this report. And because we are from an objective aspect, so the results can be convincing and practical. And what we are pursuing is to promote the cooperation and also based the practical applications. So the first part, let's take an overview of the project. The framework of the research bases on four aspects. The research foundation introduces how is the project runs, and the comparative analysis is to get the knowledge from policy in both in Netherlands and in China to see which is the common points and in which aspect is different. And the third part is the data collection and the empirical analysis. And also the fourth part to give the recommendations and the suggestions. This report and the project covered three main aspects in the sustainable building development, which is the circular building material, the energy aspect, and the water resources. What we are doing, the way we are completing the project is based on both policy analysis and data calculation, and also some empirical analysis work. And the following part, I want to introduce why this topic matters. In recent years, the Netherlands has become the country with the highest investment in China among all EU countries. Before the Netherlands is Germany, and even before is England. So this signal is very important, because China is now entering a critical window for green transformation, and the Netherlands is now offering the leadership in green building technologies. And based on the current status of the bilateral countries, there is a good foundation from political and economic collaboration history. So I think it's very important to focus more on how these two countries can cooperate in sustainability, especially in the building sectors. And from the national data collected. In last 20 years, the building sector or construction market value in China has been increasing very fast. Even during the year 2020, in that year, China started the deleveraging in real estate market. It's still increasing, and the current construction market accounts for around 7% of the total GDP in China. And from the analysis of Oxford, even in 2030, in the year 2030, China can still account for around 24% in the global construction market. And the main sectors of the future sustainable built environment market in China can be highlighted as sustainable building material, the prefabricated construction, and building energy management. And before we start thinking how the two countries can collaborate, we need to see what is the current status. On the government level, there's still a lack of concrete cooperation mechanism. And on the business level, there are some projects already, but it's hard to copy. And even it's copied, there's no large-scale achievement. And on the academia level, there are some joint funding projects like China Million projects, but it's kind of, we can see it's hard to see the research results can be transformed to practical applications or products. So these three elements doesn't work alone, which means they are relies on each other. So even one part of these three levels can be promoted, the other two can also be promoted together. So in this chapter, I'm gonna do a brief introduce about how is sustainable building developed in China. The sustainability development in China has gone through 4 stages, starting from the Stockholm conference until now. The sustainability has been transformed from the starting period to a high quality development. Now the China is predicting the development of sustainability to a accelerator in the economy development. And from the latest goal on the sustainability to 2030, China should arrive the carbon peak, and to 2060, there should be the carbon neutral, which is kind of 10 years later. The carbon neutral objective is 10 years later than the Europe. In Europe, it should be 2050, but it makes sense. And also achieving the China's carbon carbon goals requires the construction industry to reduce carbon emissions by around 5,000, which is a very huge number. So this is the reason why the sustainability in the building sector is very important. The supervision system in China on the sustainability is is a huge system, but for the building area, the Ministry of Housing and Rural Development is still the core department doing the supervision work. And for the policy, the laws and the regulations performs the highest authorities, and they give the national guidelines or the directions where to go. And the industry reports and the white paper is the lowest power or even just recommendations level. So the drivers for China to pursuing the sustainability built environment, the driving force from multiple aspects. The policy targets and the market need, the technical transformation, the urban development need, and also very important is the international pressure. And we want to do the standards alignment with Europe. And even though there has been increasing and emerging sustainability built environment and some great projects has been achieved, there are still challenges during the progress. The first, the challenges comes mainly from these 5 aspects. And with the green box highlighted which aspect the Netherlands academia institutions or enterprises what they are good at. So I would also recommend these points to be focused during when we considering the cooperation. And in this chapter, I'm gonna give some case studies. The first case is about the learning results of the energy management. In China, they are both the policy about energy management in building. In China and the Netherlands, they are also pursuing the nearly zero carbon emissions, but the route is different, or the pathway they are going from the different pathway. For example, in China, both the new and retread buildings should meet these requirements, but there is no requirement on the energy source. But in the Netherlands, there's a more strict calculation method that will see what kind of source you used. Like if you use fossil energy source, it can reduce the score in this. And also in China, the calculation of energy is mainly during the design period. But in the Netherlands, there is no such kind of strict requirement in the design period, but they will do the measurement after the construction of the building. So this kind of difference can be very interesting to find. And the second aspect is about the building material. Under the EU framework, the Netherlands is pursuing a material market with more digital and traceability. And the certification should be done in a third-party test. And in China, the policy driver is more like top-to-down system, and the certification system is called the green label system. So only when you have the certificate from green label, this kind of sustainable building material can be large-scale produced. And also in China, most of the material should be first in the pilot zones, and but in the Netherlands, people seems to, or designers seems to be more brave to use the new material, even use it as a structural material. But this in China is hard to see because for each structural material, you need very fulfilled certification, the test, and also the improvement from the institutions. So this also makes it different. And to be brief, in Europe, the material is more emphasis on digitalization and traceability. And the assessment route is the material passport system. And in China, more emphasis is on the standardization and the safety. And the green building material catalog is a way to get access to the market. And in the design area, covering the green building design, structural design, and the urban planning, it's very very good point to see that because Netherlands is very good at both these three aspects in design. But there's some opportunities highlight for Dutch companies. The BIM or the TOD planning and LCA-based material consulting. These works are now emerging and very needed in China. So focusing on the potential collaborating point in these aspects should benefit the enterprises, especially the small scale enterprises like SME should be benefit this very much. And for considering the collaboration between the Netherlands and China, the current cooperation mode in China and foreign cooperation mostly is the hardware should be produced or designed, manufactured, localized, but the software globalized as a complementary. There has been covered some successful projects in the reports, like Siemens or Bosker. It's also good to see that. And also the software for the building and the building energy system is also the strong point of the Netherlands enterprises. So this is also good to see the results. And there are some key cases between China and the Dutch and the Netherlands. For the academia or the research work, there is NSFC and NWO plus Marian Fund. And for the practical project is Suzhou Technical Park. And also the business project, the Deltaris projects, which modeling and monitoring the Yangtze River in Shanghai Pudong. And there is a strategic insight for stakeholders focus on local level pilots because not only on the national level, the local level governments also have the projects opportunities for all construction companies. And also it should be good to see that the Dutch companies can be positively integrated in the international projects like the Belt and Road initiative. And also there's another insight that when you do the project application or doing the collaboration, the innovation should be always emphasized, and also the social impact should also be put on the first place. And this page, I'm gonna introduce what Chinese stakeholder expect. The government always want to build the landmark projects, and during these projects, like the EU countries, like the local government in EU, they will also sometimes even provide some pilot policy to let you do innovative work, innovative projects. And for the Chinese enterprises, the profit first, and of course, and they also want the technical cooperation, and also the more important is the certification size, because Europe, especially like the countries such as Netherlands and Germany, they are leading the certification system around the world. So, from as far as I know, some Chinese enterprises, they are building enterprises. They are trying to do the certification alignment with Europe framework policies. And on the academic aspects, besides the scientific results, it's also I also got some feedback from the professors. The research platform is also very interesting, and they also care more about transformation of scientific results. And for the residents, example, the high quality living environment, and some people may be interested in the new products or new idea brought by foreign brands. And here I list some key advantages of Netherlands in sustainable building, and the key advantages of China in sustainable building. To be brief, the Netherlands has a very strong ability in the design. This design covers all aspects design, not only the urban design, but also the design of mechanics, or design of policy or urban route. And also, the Netherlands have a great history of doing international project or construction project around the world, in Africa, in Dubai. So this is also the strength to be aligned with the global market. And the key advantages of China in sustainable building. The first is it's a big and still growing market, and the need for the sustainable construction, and also a strong policy framework and national targets. And also the powerful state-owned enterprises lead project has a very good delivery system, which is hard to find the second one around the world. So they will help to make sure the innovative, sustainable idea to be practical projects, to make it delivered at the right time. And also, not only the China government, but also the Chinese enterprises want to expanding their global influence through the multi-cooperations. So this will be the complementary with the strengths of the Netherlands. And here's some highlight opportunities listed. The first is the green industry park and the smart campuses. There have been some exciting projects like the zero carbon city in Shenzhen, and but this kind of project can be promoted to more cities and multiple aspects. And also the joint innovation in circular construction. Based on the experience in material passport, this is also a very good point to support the circular economy transition in China. And also, as mentioned before, the collaboration on third market, the co-development sustainable infrastructures using Dutch design and the Chinese execution capacity can make a very good results and happy ending. Yeah, and also the facts about the cooperation, most of them has been mentioned before. So and it's also highlighted in the report. And as a closure, there's some practical measures recommended. The first is continue promoting funding the research and development projects. And as from our research, we think it is meaningful to keep the big projects funding and also increase some more small-scale funding, but large in number, because this can be a very good starting point for the researchers in Netherlands, in China, for them to get in touch another country, and they got an initial idea, they got small funding, and it's more close to get the idea to be practical, and also it will benefit the cultural integration. And the second one is the launch of a joint innovative and certification pilots on green building, like BEAM and carbon accounting system. So because until now, in the world, in America, in Europe, even in Australia, people are using different certification system. Even in America and Canada, they are using different. But once China and the Netherlands or Europe can get an alignment on the certification system, it will be it will benefit a lot for the Netherlands to be the leadership in the EU green building constructor market. And also the third one is to establish joint laboratory to achieve results sharing, and so that we can base these results to get the standards aligned. Or this means when you do the research, do the analysis together, you can more easy to get a middle point for the standards. So this makes the future work easier and makes the market more reachable in both countries. Yeah, this is the presentation, and the time is limited. So when you read the report, you can also communicate with us, me and Professor Jos Brothers. You are welcomed. Thank you.